Hi, it's Suzanne Halliburton with your Longhorn Minute for the Texas-Iowa State game this Saturday in Ames, Iowa. And the Longhorns are going up against Gene Chizik, their old defensive coordinator, who helped with the defense the last 2 years, and now he's a head coach. It's a very bizarre feeling for the Longhorns to go up against somebody they know so well and they liked and respected. To a player and to a coach this week, that's all they're talking about, is how much they really liked Coach Chizik. Now, I guess everyone is aware that Texas has lost the last 2 games in a row, the last 2 conference games. They lost the last 2 last year. It's a 4-game losing streak, and so not all is very happy on campus. However, there are some bright spots. Look for Saturday. Mac Brown, by tradition, always starts making changes at mid-season. As somebody told me earlier this week, that the players who actually want to play, who've shown the most effort, who've made the most plays, tackles, what have you, will be on the field. So it'll be interesting to see if maybe there's some tweaks on defense, what might happen on offense. Greg Davis was talking earlier this week about possibly simplifying some of the blocking schemes for the offensive line, because they're very young, they're very inexperienced, they're trying very hard, they're getting better every game, but you know, they gave up 4 sacks against Oklahoma and I think only had 61 yards rushing. Also, Colt McCoy was in a much better mood this week, although I know he hated losing on Saturday and didn't take it very well, but he felt like the black cloud had been hovering over him, had gone away since he was 19 of 26 for 324 yards against the Sooners. To put that in perspective, OU has not given up that many yards in the air since they played USC in the 2004 National Championship game. That's also the 2nd best ever by quarterback against Oklahoma, Texas quarterback against Oklahoma. Now, Jamal Charles, that black cloud maybe that Colt had is now over Charles, and I talked to him this week, very depressed, but he's trying to come out of it. As you know, he fumbled once. He also deflected a pass that was intercepted by OU, and he is looking a lot at how he runs the ball. He's figuring out what's happening, and he's hoping to get that corrected by Iowa State. His coach, Ken Rucker, I asked him about Vondrell McGee and Chris Ebenaya possibly getting more snaps, and he said that those two will earn more playing time if they practice well and if they continue to play well. The bad news of the week is also that Limas Swede, Texas's preseason All-American candidate, is too injured to play anymore this year, and his season is over. He's going to have surgery on his left wrist. As you know, he'd had problems with it starting in August. It had healed up, and then he re-aggravated the sprain the last 2 weeks, including, a lot of people believe but aren't sure, on the last play he made against Oklahoma, which was a 3rd and 11, when he and Colt McCoy tried to connect on a ball. Would have been a great catch by Sweet if he'd come down with it near the OU goal line, but instead it bounced away, and that's when a lot of people think that he hurt his wrist again severe enough that he's now going to need surgery. Look for Quan Cosby to move into a split-end spot, backed up with Nate Jones and Quan taking a lot of time at the split-end spot. When Texas goes to 3 receivers, it'll probably be Nate Jones at one end, Quan Cosby, and either Billy Pittman and Jordan Shipley dividing time between that slot receiver. Now, defensively, the only changes I think may come maybe at the linebackers, where you might see a guy like Jared Norton getting some more reps. He dehydrated against Oklahoma and was taking IVs and didn't play as much. Also, Scott Derry, they're still really liking the way he's playing. And Rod McElroy, they're also loving the way he's playing at weak side linebacker. So we'll see how they evenly divide the snaps between those two. So that's it for now. Stay tuned next week.